Are you very ready? Are you very ready to get out of the car? Good morning, folks. We are back in the Jeep. I did not get a good night's sleep last night because as I repacked the Jeep for camping, I forgot to put pillows. So I slept on a bag of clothes last night for my head, and that was not satisfactory. This is the beautiful spot we have woken up today. My goal today was to climb a mountain, and that's not going to happen because I'm getting way too late of a start. It's like after 9 right now, which seems early in the morning, but it is way too late to start to climb a mountain that is over 13,000 feet. And that's okay that we're not climbing the mountain. I mainly just wanted to get out in the woods, get Tuck out in the woods, and do some exploring. And little Tuck is so happy exploring around. And in case you're wondering, I'm Katie. That's the aforementioned Tuck. This is my Jeep. And we're out exploring. I was gonna make some oatmeal, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm just gonna have a protein bar for breakfast. From our campsite, you can see some really awesome mountains. A few of which are 14,000 foot mountains. So this big sucker in front of us is Mount Bros. And then we have Cameron and Lincoln. And then over there, Quandary. Those mountains are all over 14,000 feet, but those are not the mountains that we came to see today. It was just a nice place to camp. And I think my coffee is done. Yes, I am using heavy whipping cream in my coffee. It's the best. It beats half and half by a mile. If you're not familiar with the high mountains in Colorado, you really don't want to be anywhere near the top of them after noon. And really nowadays, the weather is getting weathery earlier. And I'd say you want to be heading down them by like 10 a.m. And there's no way I'm gonna make it up this mountain by 10 a.m. So it is like 9:30 now. And that's not gonna happen. But we're gonna go check it out and walk around it a little bit because it's got a really interesting story. Or at least the name of the mountain is a really interesting story. And I've wanted to come up here for years to check it out, and I finally am. Let me show you guys where we are. We are in Colorado. This is Denver in the middle of the state, and we are not there. We are somewhat near Fairplay, Colorado, which is south and west of Denver. All right, here we are again at Fairplay, and we have come out of Fairplay onto this Forest Service Road 659. After coming out that road, we actually came down Forest Service Road 441, and this is the line of mountains that we can see right there. But the mountain we're interested in is one right here called Mount Silverheels. And my original plan was to hike up Silverheels this morning, but yeah, we're way too late. So I am just dawdling around camp. Tuck is having an amazing time. He is in his element and just running around. So I'm gonna take my time. We're gonna drive up to Mount Silverheels kind of as far as you can drive up it and check it out. Are you ready to hop in the car? Go ahead. No? Good boy. Are you ready to go check out the mountain? Yeah, maybe. All right, let's get this show on the road. I'm not exactly sure how far we can drive up this road before it ends, but we're gonna drive until it tells us we have to stop. I do have to say I've got a pretty good crick in my neck from sleeping on bags of clothes instead of pillows. A little uncomfortable. There are some rather unfortunately placed high tension power lines up here, which I assume is why this road is in such good shape, because they have to access the power line. I don't know that I would want to drive a big old truck that they need to drive up here to access the power lines. I'm thinking those really big work trucks and cherry pickers and stuff would not be that fun to drive up here. I mean, the road is fine, but it kind of goes up a bit and it's not very wide in spots. No drop-offs, no big steep drop-offs, but the trees get narrow. I mean, there's no trees right here, but back that way, the trees get narrow. Okay. The road is getting a little bit narrow and shelfy here. I mean, just a little bit. A little twisty as well. But still very firm ground, no big bumpies. It's not really going up and down too much, so it's fine. It's not a dangerous road. You just need to be paying attention. I think we might be coming upon where the road ends. Yeah, that's just that's not a road anymore. Except for the power lines. It is really nice and beautiful and peaceful up here. I can see an old mine up this road and a beautiful little mountain stream. My dog has abandoned me for another dog and a nice fellow riding his bike up here. That fellow is only riding his bike up to the mine, and he has a cute little black lab mix named Colt, and Tuck has made fast friends with him. But that mountain behind me is Mount Silverheels. Oh, you came back to Mama? As you can see, it's still quite a bit of a hike from where you can park to the top of that mountain. Silverheels is a 13er, meaning it is higher than 13,000 feet. So it's a pretty big mountain. We're at above 11,000 feet right here. Whew. Which means heavy breathing. But those are some storm clouds over the mountain, so we're not hiking all the way up to the top. But you may be wondering why we came all the way out here to see Mount Silverheels. And it's just because it has a cool name and a cool story behind the name. Oh, happy Tuk Tuk. He is running to see his friend. There is this cool old mine up here. And my GoPro ran out of battery, so we're on my phone. And it's got kind of a low battery too. So hopefully I don't run out before I get back to the car. Oh, don't go too far in there. I actually am really super surprised that this is not blocked off. This is really deep. Oh, and there's a bunch of water in the bottom. And it echoes. Echo! Way cool. I'm not gonna become part of a mine disaster, so we're not walking back there. What a beautiful view up here, huh, guys? Pretty amazing. But we came up here so I could tell you the story of Silverheels. I always thought this mountain was probably named for silver. It's called Silverheels. Maybe you find silver at the heels of the mountain, but that's not why it's called that. It's actually named after a tavern girl. Back in the gold days, in a mining settlement pretty close by called Buckskin Joe, there was a tavern girl who danced and sung at the taverns, but probably did other things too. And nobody knows what her real name was, but her nickname was Silverheels. And some of the stories say that she was called Silverheels because she danced so divinely, and others say it was because her dance slippers were embroidered with real silver. And Tuk is running way down the hill back toward the Jeep. He is having such an amazing time. The reason the mountain is named after her is because in 1861 there was a smallpox epidemic in the mining town. And they sent all the women and children away, but Silverheels stayed and nursed the miners back to health, or as many as she could, and then disappeared. Nobody actually knows what happened to her. Some people theorize that she got smallpox and died herself, but she disappeared into the mountains. The miners wanted to thank her for her nursing and sticking around to nurse them all back to health. And so they gathered a lot of money together to give her. And I guess it was around $4,000, which is about $150,000 today. So it was no small sum. And when they went to her cabin to give her the money, she was gone. That is why they named the mountain after her. They couldn't give her the money, but they could name a mountain after her. And little Tuk is just such a happy camper right now. He played for a really long time with his new friend Colt. And they just ran all over these mountains, just having a grand time. I have a new battery in my GoPro, and I think it's time to hop in the car and head down the road, assuming I can get my dog to come back. Oh, I can't whistle today. There we go. Good boy. You're not coming back as fast as usual. Oh, you are just moseying on today. You do not want to get back in the Jeep. It took quite a bit of bribery to get Tuk back into the Jeep. He is pretty happy being up here, but we definitely have some weather moving in, so we need to get out of the mountains. I'm taking a different road out of here than what I took in here. So I was camped on Forest Road 441, but that's not the road I came in here on. I came on here on Forest Road 659, which we're on right now. But we're gonna go back out via 441 and go visit Alma and go check out the Buckskin Joe Cemetery. There is no more Buckskin Joe town, but the cemetery is left. The big broad valley that we're driving above is called South Park. And you may have heard that word before if you watch TV in the 90s. Maybe it's still on. South Park, the TV show, the cartoon. The guys who created it were from the South Park area. I believe actually from Fairplay. There aren't very many towns in South Park. There's Fairplay and Alma and Jefferson as existing towns today. I don't think there's many others. But in Colorado, a park is just a big broad valley. There is a North Park, a Middle Park, and a South Park. And this is South Park. And yeah, South Park, the cartoon, is set in South Park of Colorado. It's not a city, it's the name of this big broad valley. And this is what driving in the Colorado mountains looks like. The scenery is not too bad. We're getting back near toward where I was camped last night, and what I noticed is a ton of trees that are cut down and the wood hauled away, which is a little unusual up at this elevation. And it looks like to me that they were bristlecone pines, which is a bummer. I'm assuming that maybe disease went through the bristlecone pine population up here, and so they cut them down to prevent the spread of the disease. They're kind of far up there, but those trees that are kind of leaning down and are a little bit gnarly looking, those are bristlecone pines. And some of these younger ones are probably bristlecone pines too. I just really can't tell when they're young and not all gnarled, whether they're a bristlecone pine or a limber pine or some other kind of white pine. Bristlecone pines are found in a number of areas in Colorado, all at high elevation. And it's kind of disturbing to see a big population of them cut down. You can see tree stumps. Like that was obviously a cut down tree. All of these, as a matter of fact, were cut down. Bristlecone pines are some of the oldest living organisms on Earth. In fact, the Methuselah tree is a bristlecone pine. It's in California, and it's considered to be, I think, the oldest living organism on Earth. Yeah, this is a pretty big area right here where they're cut down. There's a bristlecone right by the road that is healthy looking. But it's just cool how just gnarled they get up at high elevation. It ain't an easy task to survive up here if you're a tree. This is kind of a fun road though. I like it. Kind of twisty and turny and bumpy and rocky. You probably can't tell from the screen, but this is a slightly tricky little spot to get down. Twisty and turny with a big rock. I put on 4 low just so I don't have to have my brake on going down this. It would be fine without 4 low, but no sense in wearing out your brakes. We're putting on 4 low again because this is kind of rocky and steep. Not very long, but it's pretty rocky and steep. We'll let the engine do the braking on this stuff and not my brakes. The steepness never comes out on camera, but that's kind of steep. I mean, it's not dangerous steep, but it's kind of steep. I'm leaning forward, like the road is leaning me forward. And it's taking a really long time to get down this hill because we're going so slow. But slow is why, knock on wood, you don't break parts on your Jeep. Little one is on a leash because of his prior escapades and not wanting to get back into the Jeep. But I had to stop and check out these old cabins. Looks like there's a few cabins here. Don't go in there. Oh, and some gross old mattresses in here. and parts of a trailer, it looks like. I'm presuming these are old mining cabins, but I don't know. I just saw them as we were driving by and thought we'd check them out, and I'm losing my sunglasses. And there's another one up here. Another two up here. It was clad in tar paper. I don't know how long tar paper's been a thing. This looks like it might be a barn. And of course, all the rusty old cans around. Oh, and there's another one. And then another one. Miscellaneous old stuff around. I don't know what these things could have been, but honestly, that looks like it could be some sort of asbestos product. So we're not gonna mess with it. Looks like maybe it was an old furnace or an old fridge. And let's look in here. I don't know how well I trust that ceiling. That for sure looks like an old furnace. I'm thinking that might have been an old barn, like a car barn, not a horse barn. A garage. That's the word I'm looking for. This one actually had some paint. That was a legit house. I don't know the story of this at all. And I don't trust that it's actually safe to go in there, but oh look, somebody drew a nice little mural on the wall. That floor does not look safe to walk on. I mean, besides the ceiling falling in. I'm guessing this was an old town, or a small town. Yeah, here's the kitchen. Oh, and we can see up into the second story from the kitchen. Neat. Let's go check out this other building. This one's all clad in steel. Yeah, I guess we can go down there. I don't know what that might have been. I mean, it doesn't look like there's much of an inside. That's all of the inside on the ground floor. And that's a very small room up on the top floor. Very unusual building. Anybody know what that would have been for? Knowing that this was probably part of a mining camp of some kind. But it's kind of cool that there's a whole house there still. I wasn't expecting to come this way, so I didn't do any homework about what this place may be or what we may be finding along the way. So this is just a surprise little ghost town. All right, you ready to go back in the car? No, you don't want to? You're running the other way? It's time to hop back in. Good boy. And now I gotta find this cemetery. It's not on Google Maps, so I'm just going by information I could find, which was not that much information. Well, there's Buckskin Creek, or a sign for it anyway. This is Alma. That's the general store. It's a pretty small town. I did a little bit of internet sleuthing, and I think I can find the cemetery. It does not appear on Google Maps at all. So we're just gonna have to go looking. We are heading up Buckskin Street, which sounds promising. It's not a very big town. We should be able to find the cemetery. This is the road you take if you are going to hike Mounts Lincoln, Bross, and Democrat. I think I got those right. They are three 14,000-foot mountains, and you can actually do a loop hike and hit the summit of all three of them. We're not doing that. I mean, someday I want to do that. Washboards. But today we're not doing that. We are heading back this little foresty road in hopes that maybe it'll take us to something. It's taking us to a camping area. That's not what I was hoping for. Somebody really likes their geodesic domes back here. That's kind of a cool place. Not that you can see it very well past Little Tuk. There actually is a brochure that I can't find online that tells you the things you can see back this road besides the cemetery. Okay, we have come to the Paris Mill. They processed gold here from the Hungry 5 mine and the Paris mine. And there's a bunch of no trespassing signs. So we are not gonna go further than this sign. So I guess they are restoring this. This was the Paris Mill. I guess a whole lot of gold got processed here. It looks like we can't poke around. So we're gonna carry on down the road. I see an old mine up on the hillside there. But look at the view ahead of us. I had no idea it was actually so pretty back here. We're getting to the fee area, or the day use area. I still haven't found the cemetery. I think we must have passed it. But I have to say, I don't mind that I've driven all the way back here because this is pretty spectacular. This is a washboarded road. This is a super popular area to come hike because of all the 14ers that you can hike in kind of from one launching spot. But man, it would be really awesome just to come out here and hike and not do the 14ers. This is a really incredibly beautiful area. And I'd never been kind of this far back this road, and I'm glad I've come, even though I haven't found the cemetery. We have reached the highest point you can reach, so we're headed back down. There's just a parking lot at the top and a little campground. It's gonna be teeny in the GoPro, but there's a cool waterfall up there. And here we are headed back down. And we have more bristlecone pines. These look a little healthier. Those are all bristlecone pine trees. I did some looking, and it turns out that first place I turned off that was like the campground, the cemetery is there. I had to get directions from the Find a Grave website because it's otherwise not marked, and it's definitely not obvious from the side of the road. I'm just gonna guess that this is the parking area for the cemetery. Okay, just after pulling into the parking lot, I noticed this road going up, and it doesn't say anything about don't go up it, so I'm thinking this might actually lead to the cemetery. Or to a dead end, or who knows. Ah, that's gotta be it. There's an American flag. This cemetery was established for the use of Alma residents by President Theodore Roosevelt on March 21st, 1902. And it looks like we can drive back through it. I was somehow thinking it would just be walking. Really cool graves scattered through the woods. We are gonna park somewhere so we can get out and walk around. It is still in use by the town of Alma. This is John Zoltan Luma, born in Prague, Czechoslovakia, and died in 2002. And I don't see a date on there, but Lieutenant C.L. Cass of the Colorado A, the letter A, 3rd Colorado Cavalry. It seems like that one might have been a while ago. And this one is Corporal A.H. Redfield, Colorado, maybe the letter D, 132nd Infantry. No dates, but let's check out this little grouping here. I'm guessing this is a family grouping. George Rysbeck, otherwise known as Dutch, October 6, 1973. Kenneth Morton Rysbeck, U.S. Navy in Korea, died July 4th, 1981. I love that these graves are still tended. There's a 1994. I mean, that's pretty awesome. You really don't see much in the way of gravesite decorations in the U.S., especially not ones with the last name of Rysbeck. I mean, maybe at some Hispanic cemeteries, but as far as I know, Rysbeck is not a Hispanic name. The graves are just scattered about in the woods. Here's one with a number tag that I cannot read at all. And another number tag, Hugo Ernest Burwee. This is Gertie, daughter of S.C. and Anne Carmichael, died January 27th, 1893, aged 15 years, 11 months, and 15 days. The lovely flower has faded. There's one that's not legible at all anymore. I assume this was an old fence that marked the burial plot, but the marker is completely unreadable. They really are just sort of scattered around. In no particular order, and some unreadable ones there. This is Freddie Hunter, born December 3rd, 1882, and died February 12th, 1888. And I can't read anything at all on this one. This one is Baby Montross. I think you could wander around here for hours and not find all the graves because they're just sort of tucked here and there willy-nilly in the hillsides. I can't read the name, but that is daughter of T&A Deering. Died July 27th, 1894, aged 4 months, 8 days. Anna Louise and Charles E. Hagman died in 1942 and 1943. Infant daughter of A.W. and D. Cameron, died 1890. I've been to some pretty cool cemeteries in my life. And this one ranks pretty high. The graves just scattered down the hillside. But I was interested in this one. This is a very unique grave marker. I might have to get on the other side of it to show you guys. Okay, this is Vanessa Barnard? Vanessa Barnard. She died in 2001. And that's just a crazy unique grave marker. Hopefully that's coming out. I really like it. I'm guessing that this area with a bunch of fenced graves is probably an older part of the graveyard. Although there definitely are some newer graves in this portion. But I'm thinking this is the old part. Clara I. And I think John Moloch. Died 1899. And let's check out this grave marker over here. Nobody gets to see the wizard. Not nobody, not know how. That is Stanley John Sarek Jr., born 12/7/1952, died 3/29/2018. I like his style. Way, way cool. I really like this little simple wooden grave marker of Jack Middleton. And here we have a language I do not know. German? Who has 2 dots over their letters? Germans have a lot of dots over their letters. Glenn Leonard, Yvette Leona, Fod Schnell, Eric Christian, Elizabeth Jane, Fod Thompson, Johanna Elizabeth, and Nils Christian Swanson. What kind of last name is Swanson? I have no idea. Swedish? That's definitely not in English. I'm really stoked about this place, but to truly bring us full circle with the story of the day, this cemetery is said to be haunted by Silverheels, and that she wears a veil and can be seen watching over the graves at night. And the veil is because presumably she contracted smallpox and veils her face after she contracted the smallpox, and scarred face and all that. But yeah, that Silverheels haunts this cemetery to this day. And guys, I think that's it for today. And I want to thank you for coming along with me. It's amazing that you're still coming along with me. And guys, we'll see ya down the road. Or maybe back at home. Next episode might be a cooking one. We'll see you guys soon.